Back with another video, folks, where I'm going to go through this lighting setup in 2 minutes. I'm going to walk you through each light, show you how it affects this image, so you guys can take away these ideas and use in your food photography. Yes, folks, we're back with another video and I'm going to walk through this whole setup. We're going to stick 2 minutes on the clock. I'm going to walk through all the gear that we're using and I'm going to show you how the light affects this scene and how it's created the image that you saw at the beginning of the video. So we'll kick it off with the camera that I'm using. I'm shooting with the Nikon Z6 II with a 24-70mm lens on. I'm shooting tethered to the MacBook, which is obviously shooting tethered into Lightroom. So the lighting gear that I'm using today, we're using the Pixapro City 300 Pro in the wavy beauty dish. I have at the back here, this is the Pica 200 fitted with an optical snoot and a 50mm lens on the front, which is also fitted with a gobo. I'll show you that in a moment. Now this light is another favourite light modifier of mine. This is the high intensity reflector fitted with the grid, and firing through that is the 580 Mark II speed light. Now this was just a test setup to see, I was just basically just testing out different light modifiers I have in food photography and see how they kind of affect the actual images that I'm shooting. And I've been really surprised at these modifiers that I tend to use in portrait photography and actually how good they have been in food photography, especially this one, the wavy beauty dish. I'm really loving this for food photography. So what we'll do is I'll tell you the camera settings. We are shooting at f10, 1/25 of a second. We're at 41mm. The power settings for each light are, we'll have the wavy beauty dish at 1/16 power. We have the speed light, we'll have the Pica 200 at half power, and we have the speed light at 1/8 power. Now it doesn't really matter about the power settings of the light, because unless you have them in the exact same position as I have, you would have to adjust them slightly anyways. But you have that information, so you kind of got a ballpark figure to see where I'm at. So what we'll do is I'll take it light by light, and I'll start with the first light that I kind of always start with. Really, it's just an accent light, but I'm kind of going to class that as my main light, and this is the one that's going to give us the direction of the light and give us the mood and feel to the image. So I'll take a shot with the Pica 200, which is fitted with the gobo, and I'll show you the effects of that. So we'll take a shot. So there you can see how that is just casting a lovely shadow coming across the image, and it gives that, instantly gives it a mood and a feel that something's light is blasting through the window. Now you might be asking how I'm actually achieving that. Well, I'm actually just using a gobo from the optical snoot. These come in lots of different shapes, which allows you to cast a lot of different shadows across your images, and these are fantastic. They just add a completely different look and feel to your image in an instant. So if that's something that you're into, I would highly recommend looking at that. All the links for the gear that I'm using will be in the description below. So that's the first light. The second light I'm using is the Pixapro City 300 Pro in the wavy beauty dish, like I said before, but I'm using this light as a global fill, because obviously that one light coming across, it's still quite dark, it's still quite moody, and the look I'm going for is an early morning, breakfast time, spring morning, when that light is just flooding through the window. It's beautiful. So we want to lift the whole image so it's a lot brighter. So we'll introduce this light. I'll show you what this light's doing with that light, both combined. You can see the effects of that. We'll take a picture, and there you go. It's just literally lifted the whole image right up, the exposure of the whole image. We're still seeing the shadows, also not as dark, but we're still seeing the shadows. But this is the feeling, this is the look I want. It's kind of clean, it's bright, but it's still giving that mood, but yet not too dark. So I'm really liking the look of it. The only thing I'm not enjoying at the moment is that down here in this area, that's really dark, because I'm really focusing a lot of these lights specifically in specific places. I need to lift this area up, and because I'm using tomatoes and we're using avocado and we have this silver tray, I want to create some specular highlights on those. And to do that, this is where the long focus reflectors coming in, and I'm using the grid with the speed light. And inside that, the tomatoes are seeing the small point light source inside that reflector, and which is the speed light, which is going to give us those specular highlights. The grid is just going to allow us to focus that light just in that spot. So I'll take a shot and show you exactly how that's affecting the image. And you can see straight away that's created those lovely specular highlights on the tomatoes, and also just gave that nice little boost to the tray and that whole area down there. So it's just lifted that so it's not too dark. So that's the 3 lights used all together. You can see the effects of that and how effective that is. Now we might be wondering what this is. This is a shadow caster. These are from Pixapro, and the reason I'm using this is not to create any more shadows, because you can't really see any of the shadows on this side. It's mainly to block some of the light coming across this corner. But I didn't want to put a black flag up here because it would have made it completely dark. I still wanted some light to come through. So I'll show you the effects without this gobo in, and you can see how different that looks without it in. You see it's just a little bit too bright for my liking. Now I could do that in post. I could just add a graduated filter in post-production, but I want to get it in camera and I want to make it look right in camera. So by just adding that back in, you can see that it's just going to dapple the light over this side but darken it down at the same time. So there you go, really effective way of lighting this image using 3 lights. Like I say, this was just a test setup. I'm just setting up and testing all my different light modifiers to see how they affect, how they work in food photography. And like I say, I'm really impressed with the wavy beauties. I'm loving this at the moment. And I thought it'd be a good idea to put this together whilst it was all set up, to give you guys a breakdown of this image. Hopefully give you some ideas to take away and use in your food photography or product photography, because this will apply to products also. I just thought it would be a good idea for you folks. So there you go, that is it for this shoot, test setup, whatever you want to call it. If you want to see all of the gear, links will be in the description below. If you've enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. If it's been helpful, hit that subscribe button. Flick the notification bell if you're new to the channel so you can see when more videos are posted, and I will see you folks in the next one. See you then. I think we might have went over the 2 minutes.